Dr. Marcus Chen had always believed that compassion was humanity's greatest strength, even when it seemed like a weakness to others. Working on the Outer Rim research station Kepler's Hope, he spent his days developing adaptive technologies for the galaxy's diverse species. But nothing had prepared him for the day when young Zara stumbled into his lab. The Vorthak child couldn't have been more than 12 in human years. Her iridescent blue skin marked with the characteristic silver patterns of her species. What struck Marcus most wasn't her alien appearance, but the way she moved. Hesitant, uncertain, her delicate fingers trailing along the walls as she navigated the unfamiliar space. "Are you lost, little one?" Marcus had asked gently, setting aside his neural interface components. Zara's head tilted toward his voice, her large, milky white eyes unseeing. "I was looking for the human who fixes things," she said in accented standard. "My guardian said you might help." It took Marcus only moments to understand. Zara had been born with a rare genetic condition that left her completely blind, a devastating disability for a species that relied heavily on their sophisticated visual perception to interpret their world's complex electromagnetic fields. "What if I told you," Marcus had said, kneeling to her level, "that seeing isn't just about eyes?" Over the next 3 weeks, Marcus poured every spare moment into his project. The Vorthak visual system was incredibly complex, processing not just light but electromagnetic signatures, thermal patterns, and even quantum field fluctuations. Creating a technological substitute seemed impossible, but Marcus had never been one to accept impossible. He worked with salvaged components, neural mesh from a defunct military interface, quantum processors from a broken scanner, adaptive algorithms he'd been developing for other projects. Sleep became a luxury as he fine-tuned the device, a sleek visor that would translate the Vorthak's natural electromagnetic vision into neural patterns her brain could interpret. Zara visited daily, patient and curious as Marcus explained each component. Her excitement grew with each small breakthrough, and Marcus found himself more invested than he'd ever been in any project. The day finally came for the first test. With trembling hands, Marcus placed the prototype visor over Zara's eyes and activated the neural link. For a moment, nothing happened. Then Zara gasped, her hands flying to the device. "I can see you," she whispered, wonder filling her voice. You're glowing. All humans glow like this?" Marcus laughed, tears streaming down his face. The visor was translating human bioelectrical signatures into the visual language Zara's species understood. To her, Marcus appeared as a brilliant constellation of light and energy, more beautiful than any human could imagine. For 3 precious days, Zara explored the station with her new sight, cataloging the electromagnetic signatures of different species, marveling at the quantum patterns in the station's computers. Seeing her world for the first time, Marcus had never felt more proud of his work. Then they came. 4 figures materialized in Marcus's lab like shadows given form. Vorthak elite guard in full ceremonial armor, their imposing frames crackling with barely contained energy. Their leader, a towering figure with intricate gold patterns across his dark blue skin, stepped forward. "Dr. Marcus Chen," the elite spoke, his voice resonating with authority. "I am Commander HFY of the Royal Guard. You will come with us." Marcus's blood ran cold. He'd heard stories of the Vorthak elite, warriors whose electromagnetic manipulation abilities made them nearly unstoppable. If they wanted him dead, he wouldn't even see it coming. I was just trying to help," Marcus stammered, raising his hands defensively. The commander's expression was unreadable behind his ceremonial mask. "Help?" He gestured, and one of his soldiers stepped aside, revealing Zara. She was dressed in elaborate robes Marcus had never seen before, the visor still perched on her head, but now accompanied by a delicate crown of silver and blue crystals. "Zara?" Marcus breathed. The commander removed his mask, revealing features similar to Zara's but marked with the scars and augmentations of a veteran warrior. "Princess Zarathi," he corrected. "My daughter." The words hit Marcus like a physical blow. Princess. He'd been helping the daughter of the Vorthak royal family. When she disappeared from the palace, Commander HFY continued, we feared the worst. Kidnapping, assassination, political maneuvering. We mobilized half the royal fleet to find her. His intense gaze fixed on Marcus. Imagine our surprise when we traced her to a human research station, where she spoke of nothing but the kind scientist who gave her sight. Marcus swallowed hard, expecting accusations, threats, demands for compensation, or political leverage. Instead, Commander Thexai knelt. The other 3 elite guards followed suit, their massive forms bowing in perfect synchronization. Throughout the lab, Marcus could hear other Vorthak voices, apparently the entire royal delegation, following their commander's lead. Dr. Marcus Chen, Commander Thexai's voice was thick with emotion. For 17 years we watched our daughter struggle in darkness. The finest scientist in the Empire declared her condition incurable. You gave her not just sight, but hope. You asked for nothing in return, not even knowing who she was. He lifted his head, eyes blazing with gratitude. The Vorthak Empire owes you a debt that can never be repaid. Princess Zara stepped forward, the visor translating her father's emotional electromagnetic signature into visible light patterns that danced around his form. I told them how you worked day and night, she said softly. How you shared your food when I was hungry. How you explained every component so I wouldn't be afraid. How you cried when I could finally see you. Commander Thexai rose, reaching into his ceremonial robes. The Vorthak Royal Council has debated for days about how to honor you. Titles, lands, technology, riches. All seemed inadequate. He withdrew a small crystalline device that pulsed with inner light. Instead, we offer you this. Complete access to our electromagnetic manipulation technology. Not as payment, but as partnership. Help us help others like Zara. Help us learn from human compassion. Marcus stared at the device, technology that represented thousands of years of Vorthak scientific advancement, worth more than entire star systems, all because he'd shown kindness to a lost child. There's something else, Commander Thexai added, a rare smile crossing his stern features. The princess has requested that you be appointed as her personal scientific advisor. It seems she's developed quite an interest in adaptive technologies. Zara giggled, the sound bright as starlight in Marcus's enhanced perception. We could help so many people, Dr. Marcus, all across the galaxy. Looking at the child whose life he'd changed, surrounded by the most elite warriors in known space who knelt before him in gratitude, Marcus finally understood what the old philosophers meant when they spoke of humanity's true power. It wasn't their technology, their adaptability, or their stubborn refusal to quit. It was their ability to see potential where others saw problems, to offer help where others saw strangers, and to choose compassion even when logic suggested otherwise. Marcus accepted the crystal device, feeling its warm energy pulse through his fingers. When do we start? Commander Thexai's smile widened. Welcome to the family, Dr. Chen.